Everybody, what's going on? Fabian for Liberty. Glad to be back. Was away for the last week in London. Had a great time. Let me tell you, the truth movement is alive and well in the UK. Met a lot of great people, and I'm getting over still this cold that I've had for some time. It's been like 3 weeks now, and I can't shake it. But feel good. A lot of things that I want to get into. In this video, I want to focus on some of the things that happened while I was away. One of them that I posted on my Facebook page was, of course, the ECB now announcing quantitative easing, 60 to 70 billion euros a month. And, you know, basically the majority of mainstream pundits out there cheerleading this. In fact, some of them going as far as saying they should have done it sooner. Now, I don't know if, I don't know about you, but I find it a little bit suspect that the day that we see yesterday, the Greeks, this is Wall Street Journal, Greek vote sets up new Europe clash, leftist sweep to power in rebellion against austerity. I find it interesting that before this vote happens, which could potentially send the daisy chain spiraling out of control with respect to, defaults. One of the things that I talked about Friday, where I, kind of talked about the global economic reset at my live event in London, was the idea of mutually assured economic destruction. And the central planners and globalists, the reason they like linking all of these economies together, the reason they like the derivative portfolios that are all linked together, is because it gives them more control. Basically saying, look, if you opt out of this, it's going to be doom and destruction, right? So people continue to play along their rules. So we have this vote that takes place today in Greece. A couple days before that, Mario Draghi announces the quantitative easing. And the question is, it is so abundantly clear that quantitative easing has not helped the U.S. economy. Most of the jobs that have been created are low-income jobs, service sector jobs. Wages are not rising. And, really just go on. It could go on and on. It's all a manipulated Ponzi scheme is what it is. So it's failed miserably here, going from an $800 billion budget or $800 billion books to over $4 trillion in mortgage-backed securities and in basically treasury bills that nobody else wants. Obviously nobody else wants because no one's buying them. You see, so they have to print money to buy them. And same thing with the ECB. Now, I'll tell you what, to me, this is all just end-of-the-road economic life signs that we're seeing take place. The ECB, the Bank of England, the Federal Reserve Bank, the Bank of Japan, they all know the handwriting's on the wall. I think what they're doing is they're just trying to keep this thing propped up as long as they can. And so now what you for sure have is, notice how the quantitative easing stops in the US, but it picks up in Japan and picks up in the ECB. Well, likely they're buying US debt undercover. Just like when the US was printing money like crazy, they were buying European and Japanese debt like crazy. And it's this revolving door of just fraud is really what it is. So how much longer will this will this go on for? I don't know. I couldn't imagine this goes on much longer. But it's amazing to me that I'm reading these news articles, and the big story in America at least is Deflategate. Whether or not Brady for the New England Patriots took some air out of 11 footballs. That's what everybody's focused on. Not focused on the fact that economies are on their last leg, and it's obvious by the actions they're taking. Record low interest rates, printing money like crazy, uncharted financial territory. Anyways, love to hear your thoughts on this. Again, glad to be back in the States, but had a wonderful time in the UK. Love London. It's a great city. Not too into the video cameras on literally every 10 feet that you walk down the street, but other than that, it is a great city, and like I said, the truth movement is alive and well there. I'm Fabian for Liberty, Fabian Calvo, fabianforliberty.com. Thanks for watching. I'm out.